So anyway, I was at Walmart and I got myself this. You ever see Stranger Things, the newest season?
I love Stranger Things.
Well, I got myself the Hellfire Club T-shirt because I thought it was pretty cool. I was with the old stepdad, and he really thought it was cool because he doesn't play D&D or watch Stranger Things, but he's a old, cool, occult pagan type dude. But he just loves the shit.
I still haven't seen the last episode.
No, why not?
We were watching it like with the projector and everything, but I ended up not making it to the last episode. I know that he like plays Metallica, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the best part.
I haven't seen that yet. I just know about it.
It's the best part. It's the most metal thing I have ever seen.
If you don't watch the last episode, at least watch that scene.
Just watch the scene. That's all you got. Like I showed the scene to Davin. He wasn't going to watch Stranger Things. He's watching all of Stranger Things because of that scene. I thought it was great.
I wouldn't mind getting one of those jackets.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of reminds me of when I was little and I couldn't watch The Chamber of Secrets because it was just such a boring movie. I passed out every time.
Right.
No, like what I was saying before is I ended up getting these shirts and they're cool. Got one for the wife, one for the stepdad, got one for my brother and myself, of course. But the thing is, I never meant to get the one for the wife. I bought 3 shirts, and when I came home, there were 4. So I just go over to the wife like, hey, we're twinsies. Because, women love that shit.
They do.
And
I want your hoodie. I want your shirt. Give me your pants.
Yeah, they always go for the hoodie. But, I flipped the script when I was in high school. I took her hoodie. I looked.
These hoodies are comfy, man. They're so comfy.
Yeah, it's weird. But they can be pretty comfy. All right, so let's start the show. Welcome to Dungeons and Talkshows, the talk show that brings you the latest in news, monsters, and homebrews. I said that out of order. With you, as always, is your host,
and
Orion.
Your host, Sam, as always.
You were late on the intro, bud.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like...
All right, and with us in studio today, once again, is Forestfacets. How you doing, Forest?
It's good to be here.
Your mic sounds a lot better than last time. It's like we got our stuff together this time.
Yeah, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve, so hopefully it's a little bit improved.
Oh, it sounds great. Honestly, last time we didn't even plan on having you on the show. It was just a surprise.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to get the mic I was talking about.
Which one is that?
It's in the works. It's a Blue Yeti. It's like the older
like
ones.
Sounds neat.
I'm not really sure. My baby mama painted it. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Painted it pink, but she's since moved on to the Quadcast, so it's just sitting in storage for now.
Like a baby mama do.
What does that mean?
Well, they're always just getting these mics and painting them up like some toenails and shit, and then just leaving them in storage.
No, be honest, Orion. It was the moving on part that you were talking about.
Okay.
And getting something better.
I'm just coding things,
Okay, it might be a recurring theme of my life. I don't know.
Let's hope it doesn't keep recurring. I don't like to see people in time loops. I survived the Endless 8 once. I won't go back.
Yes, Cheaty, we've all seen the time
I
knife.
love that show.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you've seen that show, but I love that show.
I've never seen it, but I'll play along.
You should see it.
Well, we're definitely gonna recommend it to you now.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those things where people just like, oh, hey, you gotta see it. And next thing you know, it's like 10 years later, and I still haven't seen Game of
I
Thrones.
still haven't seen Game of Thrones.
See,
Yeah,
we got him.
I saw a little bit of it actually.
All I know.
So I can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not in that.
Wait.
Not in that camp anymore.
I watched a bit of it, and all I know is winter is coming, and my favorite character is Tyrion because Peter Dinklage just owns the role.
All I know is I
It's
heard there's a
true.
lot of
It's true.
incest.
Well, you know what? That's just anything medieval fantasy related, because you gotta keep.
It's got to have at least a little incest
Yeah, I mean,
for realism.
that's how royalty works. If it's good enough for the royal family, it's good enough for you. That's why Alabama reigns supreme
True.
in something. I don't know what.
So for anybody that lives in Alabama,
Let us know. All right. Okay, Sam. We've been dying to know what is the monster of the week this
it's
week.
actually not really a monster. Kind of in the mood for constructs.
Oh. Is that like when you're out and about with a hot date and she's like, oh, you're feeling Chinese, and you're like, no, constructs are wearing that.
Sure.
I don't even know what to say.
I get that a lot.
So I have a lot to kind of talk about here. We'll kind of be going over.
Well, what's the difference here? Like, is a construct not a monster?
In the way that they're not kind of like just kind of out and about attacking people and kind of living their lives, they're made for a purpose. Yeah.
So somebody made them.
I mean,
that's the idea,
right? There may be some natural constructs in some way, maybe, but as far as I know, they are kind of crafted and made for a purpose.
Yeah, they're basically magic robots.
Right. And
I'm learning some JavaScript right now, and
that's
constructs are part of what constantly constructing different things to
And so I figured if we're going to talk about constructs, why not talk about the god of constructs and his plane of existence, right?
Okay. So this is an artificial god?
Yes and no. It's a little complicated.
He made himself.
And on the seventh day, God was a robot.
Who made the ultimate?
So in my research, it doesn't exactly say like where he came from or like who made him, I guess. But like essentially, he kind of made this plane of existence, Mechanus. It is referred to as kind of nirvana in the cosmic wheel of it represents the alignment of lawful neutral. So the Great Wheel cosmology consisted of a series of somewhat concentric spheres. Think of kind of like like a donut layered, If you have
layered
you have like a donut and then a donut hole in the middle and then a big donut on the outside, right?
I have never.
That's really interesting.
I've never seen a donut like this.
It's similar to like a Buddhist mandala.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, you said nirvana. They have nirvana at the center, and then they have each of the planes of existence going outward until you get to like the physical planes where suffering and not fucking floating on a cloud or whatever.
I keep saying I'm a lot. Sorry. The prime material plane is in the center, the donut hole, if you would say.
Okay, so
the munchkin.
Yeah, Duncan prepared me for this episode.
The sphere that contains the prime material plane, the outlayer of the munchkin, right? The inside contains I'm not sure how to say this, phlogiston, which is kind of like the dark matter of space, basically.
All right, D&D dark matter.
All the bits in beyond, So within these crystal spheres that hold these planets and these worlds and these universes, they are surrounded by the ethereal plane, where the spirits and ghosties exist.
So the ethereal plane and the astral plane are very closely tied together. That's a big part of what makes
They're all
Spelljammer.
very kind of like interly connected, but none of them kind of cross into each other.
Yeah, it's weird because the astral plane is what happens when you take that space that's infinitely small between two objects, like that pure nothingness. And if you were able to enter that nothingness, that is the astral plane, as it is infinite and
the way that I kind of think
at all.
about it is like if space is like the void, right? It's like nothing. I think the astral would kind of be like where the consciousness goes, where the souls go and stuff like that, like where the spiritual energy kind of manifests. That's kind of how I like to think about it in a way.
Okay, so maybe like the space itself is part of the material plane, and although that is still a void, the counterpart to such a void would be the astral, in the sense that it's a spiritual void.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
We got that yin and yang thing.
Right. And talking about the yin and yang, when you look at the material plane, you have the Feywild and the Shadowfell that are kind of the yin yang that kind of exist around the prime material plane. Exactly.
Wrapping it up.
I was looking at it and it's very interesting.
Interesting.
You think we're going to get like a Feywild in Stranger Things? Because we clearly have the Shadowfell equivalent.
Cool. Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
Right?
Upside down is the Shadowfell.
That's a great... It kind of reminds me of Terraria. Like, there's like the corruption, purple, and then there's like the... it's also just as corrupt, but it looks like rainbows and unicorns.
Maybe I can talk about Vecna.
Yeah, that's essentially the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Feywild.
Yeah, because the Feywild is very chaotic.
Feywild is
and very like, it's not evil. It's kind of like the chaotic good side, where like
probably dangerous for humans, but
the native species love it. Like it's their place.
Yeah, it's just chaotic.
Right. So oh no, I closed my page. So outside of the prime ethereal were the inner planes, also called the elemental plane. Elemental planes would kind of be the second layer of a donut, right? They kind of encapsulate the outside of the ethereal and the prime material plane. And then the astral plane kind of comes after. It connects all of the worlds in the prime material plane to each other, and the outer planes to each other. The prime material plane that touched both the astral and its ethereal plane through these planes did not touch it. They do not touch each other. Or, I mean, they do not touch any other planes, if that makes sense.
So they're like independent spheres, bubbles, if you will.
Yeah, the ethereal plane is like separating everything from the material plane, and then you've got like air, water, earth, and fire all
exactly.
In their own.
The way you talk, well, you wouldn't even know you've never played D&D.
Like a bag of marbles when you think about it.
That's actually a very great way of putting it. When I saw an episode of this show called Fate, no, it's like, what is it? Fate, Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works or whatever. Oh, yeah, it's real popular. Tons of spin-offs and shit. The main thing is that towards the end of Fate Stay Night, this guy uses a thing that's called a reality marble. And it's just a pocket dimension that's its own reality, almost infinite in its expanse. Once you're on the inside, I would imagine that it's kind of like that. Like on the outside, you just see like this big old marble shaped thing. But once you enter it, it's expansive and massive on the
reading
inside.
About it, there was a lot of examples that talked about like if you had a bowl of soup, right, and you put a bunch of marbles in it, the soup would be the phlogiston. The crystal spheres have their own prime material planes, ethereal planes, elemental planes, and astral planes. Basically. And like I think when they said that the kind of like the meat and the vegetables would be the other planes, and they're just kind of like circling around as the outer donut. Can you tell I'm hungry? It's very interesting, but it is kind of a lot. So it may be a little confusing. And something I did not, something I didn't know is apparently there's a lot of inspiration from Naruto here. You know how they have the combined natures, like fire,
chakra natures,
like air, where lightning or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah, there are sub-material planes
the
that
inner
are
planes are between? 6 major. So the inner planes are the 6 major elemental planes: fire, earth, water, air, positive and negative. And then you have the 4 para-elemental planes: smoke, ice, ooze, and magma.
Dude, that reminds me of the weird elements they used in Adventure Time, where like a slime or ooze or whatever was straight up.
I always loved that.
Yeah, like you got fire, ooze, ice,
so I'm
and
not
candy.
Sure.
Like ooze and candy don't belong.
There's also 8. Sorry, there's 8 quasi-elemental planes. I'm not sure what quasi means. So it says seemingly, apparently, but not really. Okay. Lightning, steam, radiance, minerals, vacuum, salt, passion. It's very interesting.
So they're there,
kind
but
of
they're
like
not.
In the spaces in between where the planes touch each other.
So is it like a Venn diagram?
Like if you were to cross over into the fire plane, you would probably cross into the magma plane on your way to the
That
earth
makes
plane.
sense.
You know, that's kind of how that works.
Okay, so they're just like barely touching each other, and that spot where they touch is effectively, like we discussed before, a reality marble in its own right. Not a full plane of existence, but a quasi-plane in which it's just this small-ass thing that's expansive on the inside.
Yeah.
So it can't exist on its own.
Kind of in the space in between. It's so cool.
Okay, that makes sense, actually. And I'm liking it. Although it doesn't seem like there's a candy plane.
Fortunately not.
But the idea I'm seeing here is basically like there is an interconnectedness between any and all planes. Like so no matter what plane, there's always some connectivity to the other planes.
It's so rarely touched on. I have only seen a few games that go with interdimensional hopping in various planes. I think the furthest I got with my own game was having the veteran Australian dude from the 90s isekai'd into the campaign.
Interesting.
You remember Mozzie.
I forgot that's what his deal was.
Yeah, it's a backstory that wasn't touched on very much because he just had to grow accustomed to the world around him, which it led to him doing exactly what an Australian dude like him would do.
You know what's really funny? I listen to a lot of the lit RPG books when I'm at work, and one of the books that I was listening to, it was called "He Who Fights with Monsters" or something like that. And the guy in it is Australian, and he gets isekai'd into this like magical universe. Like,
no way!
It's so interesting.
I love it.
Someone's been up in our campaigns listening.
To anyone who likes to listen to books, I definitely recommend it.
It's just such a good idea to.
And he gets like these magic powers that are like super evil. He's like, I'm not evil. Everyone's like, he's the guy with the evil powers.
Oh my gosh. He's the guy with the evil powers. No, I swear, I didn't mean to.
It was such a fun character just to have in our game, just because. How often do you see a strength-based ranger with no dexterity?
Not often.
Not often.
That is hilarious.
I love how new players have like no preconceived notions on what a class should be, so they build it however the hell they want, and it's wonderful.
True. So the last piece that I have on the planes themselves, a creature native to Mechanus states, Mechanus is a place of rules, law, and process. Organization above all. The denizens of this place disagree on how order is to be maintained, but in the end, we all serve its structure. Without structure, we are nothing.
Feeling a little called out here for my messy room.
I would say the same.
So, without structure, we are nothing. I feel like I hear that all the time.
So is this like a plane for the OC?
Essentially, yeah. The creatures that are made to live here serve their purpose and their purpose alone.
Damn. I couldn't deal with that much. I need a little
They don't
chaos
really have
in my
the
life.
minds to think for themselves. But there's a slight few that do go rogue.
Ooh, I do know about that because I was researching some of that for a future plot point that I wanted to use. And when they go rogue, they're usually detached from Primus. And that detachment causes them to start thinking for themselves. And
it's kind of when he sends them out to like the different planes to like scout and stuff like that. It's, the distance would essentially cause the kind of bond to lessen.
Yeah, it's wild because after they go rogue, they have to be hunted down and retrieved. Yeah, it's just like, okay, this one got disconnected from the network. Someone go get him, bring him back, destroy him.
I think I remember someone else take his place. When I was going to do that campaign about it, I was going to have my players find one and have to like save it from being hunted down. Like, I thought that would be really cool.
Oh, nice.
I introduced one in the last game I ran, and the players decided, you know what, we're just going to leave him behind. It's fine if the necromancer tortures him a little bit. It's okay. We worked out a deal. Yeah, the fashion designing kobold of the party is like, listen, what all your undead people really need are fashionable red armbands. It was like, sounds like a little Hitlerish. And he was going all in, and I'm beginning to get a little suspicious because later on he's wanting to hire the necromancer to genocide a town because they were racist against kobolds.
What have you done?
It didn't help that his character was a white kobold.
The world's first D&D Hitler.
No, probably not the first.
Hey. Yeah, right.
And a kobold of all creatures.
Yeah. Maybe the world's first fashionista Hitler.
So speaking of talk about the Hitler of Mechanus. Primus. Primus was a manifestation of perfect logic and strict order. It was linked with the plane of Mechanus, and they shared the same goals and actions. While some believed it was only concerned with itself and the plane's modrons, others believed Primus sought to extend perfect law and order throughout the entirety of the multiverse.
So, like a for the greater good.
He didn't like the chaos that the other realms had.
That sounds like it's treading very close to some territory where you gotta, genocide a few.
I already made the connection.
Dangerously close.
Walking the line.
Walking the line. Is really on the fence there, but
I didn't realize it when I was reading all this, but now that you say it.
Now when you point it out.
Yeah.
Very authoritarian here.
Yeah. Almost as if laws are inherently authoritarian.
Primus appeared as a large being, sometimes in the form of an androgynous gold-skinned humanoid, with the face of emotionless expression. While in Mechanus, its body remained half submerged in an energy pool within the center of the Great Modron Cathedral. Primus's form was connected to the expansive interface network known as the Infinity Web. Primus's hands always remained unseen. Its right hand was obscured by vibrant rainbow-hued radiance. The left was shrouded in black clouds.
Okay, so he had one hand in YouTube and the other in Twitter. Which one's which? God. You decide.
One's Reddit, one's iFunny.
iFunny. Hell yeah.
Man sticking his hands in the internet, wondering what's going to happen. Yeah, that's the internet right there.
So as far as I read, he's able to kind of manipulate the laws of reality with these hands. That's basically what he's doing.
Well, it makes sense.
Special hands.
Because you got to have laws for things to work the way he wants them to. But you can't have the laws the way you want them to unless you're manipulating the laws.
You don't want these hands.
So Congress up in here just emulating this dude, sticking their hands in the internet and hoping something good comes out and making laws.
Talking about all his...
That's why they want to kill all the cows.
Isn't that the premise of Spy Kids 3?
Is it? Holy shit, he's right.
Hold on.
Spy Kids 3 even included the part with where we had a AI girlfriend.
3 was the one where they played video games, right?
Yeah.
Game Over or whatever.
That's the one with the
3D.
Yeah.
Right, the guy. The guy.
Wait.
The toy maker.
The guy. He's not even real.
Dies in the next scene. It's so funny.
It was just a bunch of nerds the entire time.
That movie's amazing.
I always thought the movie was trash.
So, the modrons. These, I don't want to say Nazi soldiers, but like, I don't want to say that. I didn't say that. The modrons were a race of construct immortals known for their zealous adherence to the principles of law and order above all else. Just as fiends were considered the embodiment of evil, celestials the embodiment of good, so were modrons the embodiment of the universal principle of order.
Ah.
Yeah.
So they're just law. They're all logic
like
and circuits.
A roaming police force for the realms.
They don't give a fuck. They're just going to here to enforce.
It wouldn't be too far-fetched to say like maybe like a scouting party shows up and your party sees it or something. They could be scoping out the world, figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So would they be inclined to enforce contracts?
Like if you try to make a deal with one?
Maybe. No, like if you make a contract with something and it's like, oh, hey, this person's trying to break the contract. Because I know there's like this big, like really high CR, like CR 26 or something, dude. I think it's like a mark or whatever. And if you fuck up a contract or something, like this motherfucker
like if you make like a
up.
deal with a god or something.
Yeah,
I think I'm talking about.
Yeah. This huge mechanical motherfucker pops in your door, busts down the house. Oh, you
Similarly,
to the
contract.
contract.
I think they kind of keep to themselves mostly, unless Primus gives like that direct order to go do something. But I think most of the time it's just kind of scouting parties and gathering information from the different realms and making sure Mechanus is working properly.
Right. Very mechanical.
Giant cogs and the great wheel of reality, I guess.
The great
So there
wheel.
were 14 castes of modrons, divided into 2 major categories. Bear with me here, it is going to be a lot.
It's sounds intimidating.
The base, 1 to 5. There's the monodrone, the duodrone, the tridrone, the quadrone, and the pentadrone. I do have the population for each of these. They're not really like, I don't think you need to know this, but just to kind of give you a scale of how many there are. The monodrones, the lowest tier, there's 300 million.
Well, that's a planet.
And then you get into the hierarchy, the kind of enforcers, the one that really do the work, you know, the politicians of Mechanus, if you would say. How
political can a bunch of
so you have the
robots
decaton,
get?
The nonaton, this is 10 to 5, by the way. Octon, septon, hexon, and quinton. The Quintons.
Quentin.
I know a Quentin.
I have a cousin named Quentin.
Then when you get to the
Tarantino,
the
I know
quarton, the teraton, and the secondus. So So when something happens to
The
Primus,
secondist.
the secondists are the ones that are promoted into Primus state. There will always be a Primus. As long as there are modrons to take the place of
like
the
automatic
levels above them, there will always be a Primus. Yeah, that's actually what it was. Whenever one was destroyed or became rogue, one of the rank below would become promoted and would become the new whatever that was. So Modron culture was simple. Each Modron obeyed all commands given to it by any Modron one rank higher. These commands were obeyed without question. Modrons were only aware of Modrons one rank higher than they were. For example, a quadrone could issue orders to a tridrone, dual drones, and a monodrone, but would only obey orders from pentadrones.
All right, so that makes sense.
4 can command 3 2s and 1s, but will only obey a 5.
Yeah, it's like the card system for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
I wouldn't know that. I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
The card system in Chain of Memories was its own thing.
It was an impressive game for,
basically what would happen is all your moves would be set up as cards, and you would throw out a card, and the enemy would throw out a card, and the higher number wins, except for 0, which beats everything, but everything can also beat 0.
Right.
So I just want to bring up something like the golden snitch in Harry Potter.
Essentially, yeah, kind of. Yeah, they're just kind of a ball.
It looks like one. It's like programmed to do exactly a certain thing, and
yeah, that's exactly what they look like. So I'd say it's not far off.
Right. Singular purpose can only really do one thing. They are very simple in their design as you get to the lower ranks.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Unless they were like somehow programmed to be seemingly advanced.
Right.
It would have to be part of the program.
Maybe one that's like getting ready to kind of promote. It would have a little more of like capability than the regular ones, I think.
Maybe they just flat out evolve.
Yeah, it seems like if they can promote, then they can, obviously like,
essentially like an evolution, as far as I understand.
I'm a firm believer that they just straight digivolve.
Oh my god, I was about to say. Is
it like Digi-evolution? So. Can they go backwards? Or is it like Pokemon and it's like, okay, now it's Charizard?
Yeah. Monodrone, Digivolve to Duodrone.
Damn it, I want my cute Monodrone back. This dude
evolutions. That's cool.
Yeah, War Greymon's great, but I want my Agumon.
So you just like specifically make constructs that look like Digimon, behave like Digimon, can evolve back and forth.
Oh, that makes sense.
They don't behave like Digimon. They're very simple and they're kind of understanding of what's like going on. Like,
nah, yeah, that does make sense.
They're basically like
Digimon
people.
Crazy.
So Modrons are like Chat GPT.
Yeah, they're bots essentially. And Primus was considered a greater deity in Mechanus. Its power over the Modrons was absolute. Very few would go rogue, but it was known to happen. And apparently, Primus himself was entirely immune to magic.
Oh, so that makes it kind of hard to kill a god because you have to do it with your bare hands. Right. And he's made of metal.
And that made me wonder, like, how did Orcus kill him? But I could not find anything about it.
There's a whole system for replacing the god, but no one knows how to fucking kill the dude.
Right. And while he held the powers of God, he was not immortal. Whenever slain, the highest ranking secondist Modron was promoted to its position.
How are they slaying him?
Right, how? Nobody's questioning how. They're like, oh, he died again. Get the new one.
It must be easy if there's such a efficient process for replacement.
I imagine it's probably not like a big deal. As long as like there's someone to replace them and Mechanus exists, he's gonna be there.
It's like, yo, hey, the president's dead. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like third one this week.
Guys,
we've been party that keeps coming to kill him.
Guys, we've been through 35 presidents this year. I think we have a problem. Nah, don't worry about it. The system works.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This new guy, he looks.
There's a movie like that where, yeah, I forget what it's called, but like everyone of high importance that could have been president through the hierarchy was bombed. So just some alderman from a district that I don't even know where. Yeah, and he just he's president now, and he's like, I don't fucking know what to do. He's just like the small town dude, and now he's president. I don't remember. All I know is that. I know of it.
Z Nation.
I don't know. It's interesting though.
Right. So the last thing I have is I have a little bit to talk about their abilities. Kind of differs a little bit between the higher ranks, but nothing too crazy. So all modrons were immune to mind affecting, emotion affecting, and magic that drew upon the positive or negative energy plane. I'm not sure what examples that would be.
Well, they're just neutral, so it's like they can't be affected by good, they can't be affected by evil. They're just neutral.
Right. They were resistant to cold, fire, and acid. Hierarch modrons had an innate ability to duplicate the effects of clairaudience, clairvoyance, command, dimension door, teleport without error, and wall of force spells at will.
Fuck your magic.
I don't know what clairaudience is. I'm going to define it real quick. The supposed faculty of perceiving as if by hearing. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They can hear everything.
Damn. I guess I'll have to step away a little bit.
I don't think so.
Can't hear thoughts, though, can it? With clairaudience?
You don't need to hear a thought. They never shut up.
Perceive things or events in the future or beyond normal sensory contact. Yeah, so I don't think like mind reading or anything. I don't think like God mind reads.
Nah, it's probably just like they have like perfect perception.
Yeah, essentially perfect perception. And the hierarchy all use a combination of innate abilities, spells, fists, psionics, and tails when they had to fight, though they are not aggressive naturally.
Makes sense. I mean, they're just lawful.
Right.
You do something to fuck with the program fights back.
Yeah, they're like the firewalls. They're like the white blood cells of Mechanus.
I feel like that's probably the best way to run it. It's very mechanical. So, like, if you have players, there's no talking your way out of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All that's gone.
Yeah.
If you pop up on Mechanus, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Just kind of reroute all their stuff around the party. It's like, oh, you're in the way. Like that robot movie or whatever.
Like iRobot?
No, not iRobot. I'm thinking something along the lines of WALL-E.
That's a good one.
Oh, I love WALL-E.
Yeah, like they have all these lines that the robots would go on, and like say one of those butter golem people fall over, and then everyone just starts rerouting the robots around them.
Butter golem?
You know,
all I heard after.
People that are like,
yeah, you know, the butter golems, the heffalumps.
What?
Yeah.
Butter golem. You say this like it's common.
Yeah,
knowledge.
You know, the time knife. We've all seen it.
Yeah. All these, 400 pounds and don't know what's going on around them. Yeah.
Basic Wally lore, dude. I don't know what they're trying.
You've never heard someone of that size be referred to as a butter golem?
When I think about it, in Wally and like all the cleaning up robots would be kind of like the modrons.
Oh, very much so.
And then the ones that like picked up the big clumps of dirt would be like the decadons and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, gonna have them clean up our planet because we fucked it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn. That's a...
Am I sensing a Wally campaign at some point?
Oh, man, I hope.
Oh, that'd be something. And everyone has to play like some kind of mechanical race, like a Warforged or an Auto Gnome.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Got to homebrew a modron race.
You gotta find plant life.
Find plant. Find the last druid. That's
the plant.
Yeah. Make the mission to find the last druid.
Ooh, like a nymph or something. Not a nymph. What's the forest ones?
I'll gladly go on a mission to find the last nymph.
Oh, what are they called?
A dryad.
There you go. Dryad.
Yeah, that's the one.
Find the last dryad. Damn, that'd be cool. Give me ideas.
Ideas all day, folks. We got them.
That's all I have for this talk today. I think it leaves a lot open for future talks and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. I really like constructs on the whole because you can really reskin anything as a construct.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we want dinosaur, T-Rex? Make it a construct.
I mean, clockwork creatures do kind of exist.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. There are clockwork creatures, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. I ran some in previous games, although no one ended up fighting the fucking Mecha Bahir.
Mecha Bahir? That sounds awesome.
It was all set, teed up to go, but the party just ended up avoiding it entirely. So I had it on
when you guys avoided that forest path that I had.
Yeah, it basically the party went into a clockwork casino run by a lich who's really into clockwork stuff.
Huh.
So she had like all these clockwork things inside the skeletons for vocal commands and basic programming, and they would run the craps table, the kitchen. They'd be whooshing all around doing stuff, and there's tons of Drugar and deep gnomes and humans like all in there gambling, doing their thing.
Sounds like a steampunk casino.
That's essentially what it was.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, if anyone wants to check that out, it's specifically in the Acquisitions Incorporated module.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lottie's Casino is fantastic. And then eventually, if the players get past the Mecha Bahir and the casino and all that fun stuff, they get there's a pool with a water weird and a water elemental.
I'm still on the Mecha Bahir. That sounds crazy.
It is, and it was just on top of this massive energy globe. It was wild. It was supposed to be a big fight, but they managed to circumnavigate the entire thing. Even dug up some dirt on the lich, found out she was cooking the books.
Cooking the books?
Yeah, she was lying to her investors.
Oh.
Yeah, keeping some profits for herself. Spoiler alert. Oh, fuck. Too late.
I went and looked up a Bahir, and like, they're CR11.
Yeah. Up it a little bit because you're adding all the resistances and bullshit
Lightning
that comes with construct.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bahirs are so cool. I guarantee you can make almost any creature that you throw at a party just a tad bit more dangerous by making it a construct.
That's true. Yeah, because then it's kind of like, who made this and why they send it at us? Like,
yeah, it's like, okay, it's not enough that you killed it. Somebody made this, like you said, and that has so many more implications. And if you have a good party for scavenging stuff, they might be able to make something out of that. So that could be interesting. And then there's just also those extra resistances, like the poison resistance or condition immunities. Like maybe you want a creature that can't be charmed because your party uses a lot of charmed stuff. Constructs are fantastic to throw at your party for that reason. You're not charming a mecha here. We'll just get that one out of the way. Yeah.
So what do you think about all this stuff, Forrest?
Oh, I was looking at the Bahir there. Really wicked. I got tardigrade.
It's like a lindworm, kind of.
They're big. They're long, and they're here to fuck your day.
Yeah, they're kind of like a lindworm.
By one would not
they're weird.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Those things are wild. And that lightning breath attack, that's something else.
I promise I won't show one up now. You've alerted me to this.
Oh, please don't promise that. I kind of want to fight something.
I have something prepared. I'm ready for you guys to enter this village.
Well, I am gung-ho for some big fights, although I do worry for some of our party members just because they're also very shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah, they are a little murder hobo, but I think I like it.
That's good. It's fine.
It's fun.
Sometimes you gotta get your shit kicked in a couple times before you realize you can't murder hobo everything.
And I've got like a proper boss fight ready, but I'm a little worried for the 4 squad.
I mean, we almost always have a good amount of help, and I tend to be good with the strategy stuff.
Yeah. I think when you guys kind of lack in bulk, you make up for in damage. Like you all output a lot of damage really quickly.
I would say probably just a bit. But we lack in the healing department, so there's that. It's a glass cannon of a party.
If anybody would like to join a party, hit us up.
Oh, absolutely. The Discord server is just growing exponentially recently. Forrest, you made an excellent AI that was putting out all kinds of D&D stuff recently.
It was great.
Oh, that bot.
After we played with it for 3 hours.
I thought that was great because it was a good way to test out its.
It gave me abilities for a prostitute rogue subclass. I'm good. That was great.
Oh, jeez. Can it roll dice?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was so happy with its dice rolling abilities. Like you can do like roll 4
so it can roll your stats.
Away the lowest.
It can roll all your stats.
And it'll do that for you.
Did you just test it out while we're on the podcast?
I got it. I'm curious now.
You couldn't resist. And I can't even blame you. You just said, roll my D&D stats.
Ah, damn it.
Interesting.
Oh, next topic. What are we doing? What are we talking about now? I know, right?
It gave you one
hey, if
stat.
you do that 6 times, you got a whole sheet. Well, you know what? I think I'm willing to kick things off for the homebrew showcase this week.
Oh yeah, we have.
Well, a little something courtesy of the famous Brennan Lee Mulligan of Dimension 20. Now, some of our audience might be familiar with this one. It's the Psychic Cuttlefish. Now, the Psychic Cuttlefish is like one of these weird little slimy cuttlefish looking fucks. And yes, the best descriptions. And they are inside these little alcoholic drinks. And they're very docile, very passive, don't really do much or react to anything. But let me read a little bit of the excerpt from the homebrew here. The Psychic Cuttlefish is a delicacy that can only be found in specialized bars and taverns in large metropolitan cities. I think I said that wrong. Only slightly more common in areas of wild space. Makes sense. Wild space is a wild place. where high trade is commonplace. It's a drink that's about 2 to 3 ounces of liquid, usually with a briny concoction of light liquors of an effective evanescent quality that stings the nose a little bit. The key ingredient of this drink is a small living psychic cuttlefish that swims within the glass. It doesn't appear to be very reactive at first, but upon raising the glass to one's mouth to consume it, the self-preservation instinct of the cuttlefish kicks in and can cause quite a stir with the imbiber.
Do you have the picture for this thing?
I do, and I'll show you in just a moment.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, we had this on the Lost episode.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it back in because it's just so cool. So basically, the psychic concoction is made. It makes desperate pleas for mercy to the person trying to drink it.
This is no average tequila.
Really ups the ante here. It'll psychically scream into your head like, "Don't kill me," or it'll try to start negotiating with you like, "I can offer you wealth or power from my kingdom."
Okay, so you know what I picture? So like you have this, I don't know, like high elf, and they're like, "Give me like your finest drink," right? And they're like, "Here, we got something new," and they're like, "Here you go." He's like, "The hell is this?" And he looks at it, and it's like, "Please, God, no!"
It's exactly that. And it'll make up anything it can. But the thing is, the cuttlefish's nervous system it's got a neocortex which will interpret thought forms from the psychic connection between it and the person that's trying to drink it. And basically, it's a physiological response, not an actual intelligence thing, because their intelligence is extremely low.
So they're not like sentient creatures?
No, they're not sentient. It's basically the same as when you get too close to a skunk and then it does its handstand like, "Hey, yo, back the fuck up."
Instinctual reaction.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that skunks do the handstand. Like, that's their big threatening thing that they do before the tail lift.
I didn't know that. I've never actually seen a skunk like.
Did you know they like oranges?
No. How would I know that? Oh my god.
I saw one eat a frog one time. It was brutal.
That escalated.
Jesus.
Yeah, my stepfather would feed them oranges.
I was like, man, I never thought I'd see a skunk not as prey,
It's
but
wild.
as the predator.
I've seen a possum eat a bird. That shit was crazy.
Whoa.
That sounds wild. Okay.
So like, I remember I was sitting outside on like our porch or whatever, and I'm just like looking out. And we have like this shed, right, where we like put our trash and stuff. And we had our dogs out, and the dogs kind of were like looking over there and barking and stuff. So I'm like, "What's going on?" And I look over, and it's just like this possum, like behind our shed, and there's this bird just like sitting on top of a fence.
It pounced?
It pounced. It like jumped up the fence and grabbed it. Like, I was like, "What the fuck?"
So are we adding possums bird hunting to D&D?
Man, I would.
Maybe. Like I was saying before, the psychic cuttlefish will do all kinds of things to affect the person, and it's always individual to the person. However it reads the person to be affected. Okay. It might say, "Hey, I know your mom, Carol. I owe her money. If you drink me, I won't be able to pay her." And I was like, oh, shit.
Does it actually know the name of their mother?
It can glean whatever information from if the character knows it, it can basically read that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, despite all the pleading and offers that it might do, it's, like I said before, not actually intelligent. It's like
Mhm.
Very, very low. It's got the intelligence of a regular cuttlefish.
It's just self-preservation.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And they're often bought in rounds by rich merchants for their clients and business patrons as a celebration of a successful business deal. Each shot costs anywhere from 2 to 5 gold each.
Okay, so an expensive drink.
Yeah, it's an expensive drink to the common people, but to your players that are dropping gold on everything, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it'd be expensive for, like the average person, but not like a well-doing party of
Yeah.
adventurers.
It's also a great way for plot-wise for you to have a rich patron fuck with your party. Because you know which players in your party you can fuck with this. There's always those few that are just like, I can't kill this thing. It just told me not to.
My baby mom was telling me about
Oh man, I want to play that.
Call of Cthulhu campaign that she ran one time, and or she didn't run it; she was playing in it, and she had a rich person in the party, and it all ended up being like, I think some slug monster or something, and then he like ordered a truckload of salt from the town because he was
That's
rich.
wild.
I want to play that game.
And that was ultimately
it's really cool.
It sounds cool.
I have the book.
Concise little campaigns.
Maybe we should do that this year, and it'd be fun. Like maybe
maybe
just a little couple sessions. Just a little short one off.
Like a one shot?
Yeah, something like that. That'd be fun.
You're running one shot. That'd be cool.
I might actually be able to get her involved.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Anyway, like I was going on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The player can choose to make a DC 12 Constitution check to be not affected, but they can also choose to voluntarily fail. If when they do, you have them roll a D10 to determine which effect they receive. Each effect will last for 24 hours.
Right.
So D10, you got lots of options here. So the about 5 of them or 6 or so are just basic +1s to your proficiency, AC, to hit, to damage, or to saving throws or ability checks. Number 10 gives you an extra spell slot. You roll a d4 to decide what level. The first couple are that's
so big.
That's really good. And then let's see here. The first couple add 1 average hit die value to your hit points. Okay, that's good.
So add 1 hit.
Adds +1 to an ability modifier.
Okay.
So you can roll a d6 to decide which ability modifier it is. Breathe underwater or in the vacuum of wild space. Now that's a big one.
That would be like in the phlogiston.
Yeah, let you breathe that. And the final one I'm going to list off here, another big one. Movement speed is doubled.
Oof.
Now the thing that counteracts all this is you're failing a con check with an alcoholic beverage. So you're going to have disadvantage on shit because you're drunk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a great trade-off. Could you imagine being in the middle of the fight? It's like, hold off, guys. I got to take a swig. It's like Rock Lee.
Drunken Rock Lee?
Yeah, drunken fist Rock Lee. Like, hold on. I got to take my medicine. This is very important.
You drink a fish and it's like skooma, and then you're like twice as fast.
Wait, I didn't know that Brennan Lee Mulligan inspired this.
Yeah. That's the only credit I can find on here.
Wait, did you say that? I'm sorry. So I must have missed it.
Yeah. Someone must have taken a little inspiration from one of his episodes, I suppose.
Sounds like something he would do. Yeah, so what are the rest of these effects?
I actually listed them off because they're just +1 bonuses to most everything.
I think this one is
Yeah, that's a good one right there. I think they're all beneficial.
Yeah, I think breathing in the vacuum of wild space or underwater. Or
how often are you going to wild space? Like within 24 hours of drinking this thing.
Well, it's very compatible with Spelljammer campaigns.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's true.
You probably end up underwater a lot more. Yeah, I guess if you were in a campaign like that where you are,
because they're like already on the ships. So like,
yeah, and it's a cuttlefish, so you got to be in a place where cuttlefish are readily available. So it would have to be a habitat type thing.
God, they look so fucking weird.
They do.
How do you drink that? It's like a frog size. Like,
Dude,
I would want that to be the size.
It's
of a pill,
filling the glass. Like
yeah. Full, like twice
this
as
is
big
just a way to psychologically mess with your players straight
the
up.
one of them.
You'd have to like, oh god, you have to chew it. Someone handed me this, I'd be like, bro, what the hell? Like,
as it's
you want me to drink this goldfish? What the hell is this?
I don't think the psychic begging is what would stop me.
Don't? What would stop you? The size?
You think I want something that big and slimy going down my throat?
God, I hope not.
No, I'm swinging for this team.
The legs. The legs are the most off-putting thing to me. They look so spiky.
I don't even know. That
aside, picture of people can see this. Like, you see what we're talking about.
Yeah. So, what do you got for us for the homebrew showcase?
So, I have a weapon. Naturally, I do like weapons.
You do.
It is a halberd, and it is a rare variety. It is called the Aberration Hunter.
All right.
So, this unsettling halberd has a twisted magenta-colored pole that seems to have fused with its dark serrated obsidian blade. The pole and grip also have the texture of some sort of scaled reptile, even though it's made of wood. Touching it makes one feel slightly nauseous, as if they ate something that isn't digesting right.
That's hilarious.
Its magical properties are the weapon. Yeah, yeah, they drank the cuttlefish.
I'd feel a little nauseous after that. Like, it's not even the psychic guilt.
Oh man. Yeah, so the weapon attacks count as magical. The weapon adds a +3 to attack rolls against aberrations. This weapon does do damage to an aberration. Choose to add 1d10 in psychic or necrotic damage. If the wielder is willing to sacrifice their own hit points to help fuel the halberd's fury, they can add up to half the number of hit points they choose to the damage roll. This weapon's wielder starts combat with a +3 to their initiative if the aberration happens to be within 120 feet.
I can just picture barbarians everywhere insta-killing things.
Proficiency with the halberd allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll for any attack you make with it. Whew!
Damn.
That sounds awesome.
At least I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
It's very niche, but very good in that niche.
Yeah, it's very niche. There's a trade-off. I love trade-offs because that's high risk, high reward. That builds some tension, and I love it.
Yeah. I was watching the new episodes of Vox Machina, and there's the scene where Grog like has his blade and he's like, "Feed me." So he's like, "All right, fine." And he like cuts his hand on it and he drinks his blood. That's what makes me think of.
That is pretty cool. But I gotta catch up on the new season of Vox Machina.
It's so good.
I know. Things have been quiet in the news space for D&D this week, which is why I don't have a proper news segment.
Forrest, did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically one of those things where everything's quiet and really the community is recovering from the fallout of the big Wizards boycott. So some people are like, do I get my subscription to D&D Beyond back or no? And then others are like, I don't want to go back. Fuck them. They fucked up not doing it. And then there's still discussion on whether or not people should go and see the D&D movie or just pirate it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like it's like Pavlov, where you got to reward good behavior when you see it. And punish bad behavior when it happens.
Yeah.
You don't want to send the wrong message.
Right.
Like, it's not going to do the community any good if you have everyone boycott wizards, and then after they go and backpedal and decide to do the right thing, you keep boycotting them.
Right.
Well, I'm still not doing it.
Now, you had a question for Forrest?
I did. I know you asked him earlier if he was going to bring a homebrew thing. I don't know if he did. Did you? Okay, that's cool.
To be fair, really he hasn't actually played
for this episode. Yeah. I was kind of like playing with like Chat GPT.
Oh yeah, it should be like make me a magic
one for me, you know, and trying to like see if it's, you know, contextually, is it overpowered?
Ooh,
does it know if
that's
it's
an
overpowered?
Experiment.
So I was kind of just testing it out earlier, and it does seem to have. I mean, it definitely has a better understanding of the game than I do, because yeah, I'm still new, but like earlier, I made up a feat for Orion and I, because we've been friends for like over 20 years, and I was like, it made up lifelong bond as a feat. So it's like if you've known each other for over 20 years, you get this like, it was kind of overpowered. It was like +2 dexterity, +2 what was it? I think maybe strength or something like that, and then it had the ability to like reach beyond your normal reach in order to like save them from
being able to move your
or whatever,
up to your movement speed as a reaction. Yeah, I thought that was a great ability, and I think overall it would be a good half feat. So like you just take a bonus to one of your stats, you get the movement thing like it said. So like, oh, your best friend's down, you're right there. It's like, I got you, homie.
Yeah, so I said if a member of your party is unconscious, you can use your reaction to move up to your speed and make a dexterity check to stabilize them, even if you're
I would say probably instead of a dexterity, maybe like a medicine check.
It does actually say dexterity medicine.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
I just that's actually valid. Part. And that was what it first put out. So I was like kind of thinking like maybe it was a little OP. So I said analyze and remediate any balance issues. And so it didn't really just fix it, but it kind of like went back over it, and I said the stat boosts +2 to dexterity and intelligence is significant. It could be just maybe +1 for each stat to make it a little bit better. And then the stabilizing ability is a really strong ability, because you could avoid.
I think honestly, it's not like a bad thing. I would definitely allow that, because it makes sense that someone would be able to do that. It's just kind of like as how they are.
It says it may be better to restrict this ability to only within reach, or limit its use to a number of times per day, or per short or long
that
rest.
Makes sense.
I was thinking per short or long rest would be the way I would.
Yeah, have that as a short or long rest. I would think that maybe a good way to up the feat would be having, let's say, up to your proficiency bonus, you could provide that ally advantage on a certain check.
I would say maybe like at higher levels,
yeah, like as long as they're within like 30 feet.
Right. Yeah, like I would say like maybe you get that at level 1, and then like at level 5 you would be able to, in addition to stabilizing them, give them advantage on or something, or like heal them a little bit.
Okay, so a feat that grows.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
So those were actually part of the original.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Thing, as it turns out. But I like the idea of like making it level up like that.
Right, so and that would be like a background feat, and not like a race feat or a class.
Necessarily.
And that makes sense because.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, totally. It's the background.
The best
feat,
friend's
which is kinda
background.
Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, it said whenever you're in within 30 feet of another, you can use a reaction to grant one another advantage on a dexterity saving throw. And then whenever you use the help action to aid a member of your party, your proficiency bonus is
I think we should definitely rework this into a background.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that'd be a great way to incentivize teamwork.
I was kind of thinking like with the we were talking about doing like a parody.
The power of friendship.
Homebrew.
It's the power of friendship.
It'd be a great place to test something out like that, you know.
Are you interested in joining a party right now, like a campaign?
I'd rather
start
something at the beginning more than like jump into something. Personally, I feel right now my situation.
I did talk to our friend Christian, and he's talking about running a Gundam campaign.
Huh?
No, that's a thing.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
But I think we can touch more on that at a later point.
We got on a big side tangent. Kind of, but not really.
That's great. I enjoy side tangents.
It was a good conversation.
We got anything for next episode? Oh, wait, yeah. Next episode, we're doing orcs because we're having the Amethyst Dragon on the show. Now,
we are.
Yeah, not a actual Amethyst Dragon, the homebrew creator Amethyst Dragon. So.
Oh! I forgot to say, sorry. I didn't say who made the weapon. This was made by Tankard Turtle on D&D Beyond.
Tankard Turtle.
Yes.
Shout out to Tankard Turtle, guys.
Very cool weapon.
Nice. Credit where credit is due.
Always. I'm looking forward to next week. And we'll see the rest of you guys then as well.
Hope you enjoyed.
All right.